All right, we're going to play playoff pressure cooker. You give me the team. Is it low pressure, medium pressure, high pressure? Ready to go?
Yes, a lot of pressure this weekend. Colin, how much pressure is on the Kansas City Chiefs to make the Super Bowl after last year's disappointment?
Make the Super Bowl. I think it's high pressure.
Okay.
So they want to prove we lost Tyreek Hill. We are fine. They're also favorites to win the Super Bowl. They have the number one offense. And I think the standard now for Andy Reid and Mahomes is historic. It's not for Cincinnati and Buffalo yet. These guys are playing. This is Belichick Brady, the beginning of it. We kind of feel like their standard is the league standard. So there's high pressure to get to the Super Bowl.
We'll keep going with the elite teams. How much pressure is on Buffalo to make the Super Bowl after preseason? They were the favorites.
I think there's high pressure, and I think they're feeling it. Listen, we've seen a lot of big blowout wins. Let's get to a Super Bowl. Now, this team right now has not yet delivered. They're the favorite preseason. I went and looked it up this morning. Fox Bet had them as the favorite to win the Super Bowl. They've yet to get to one. So I feel like, okay, they've done a lot right. They've beaten Kansas City before, right? But it's time now. We got to see a payoff here for the Von Miller. And I know he's out, but they've spent some money on Diggs. Yeah. They've spent some money on the free agent market. It's time to deliver on all the hype.
All right, how much pressure on the Bengals to get back to the Super Bowl, back to back?
I think low to medium. They overachieved last year. Now their offensive line, Alex Kappa, Lyle Collins, kind of falling apart. So if they lose, there's an out. Also, I think maybe in a year, if they got doused early, but I think this is the year Buffalo. So Chiefs have been to a Super Bowl. Bengals have been to a Super Bowl. Now it's time for Josh Allen. Yep. So Burrow and Mahomes have been there. Okay, we know there's three teams we all like. Kansas City, Buffalo, Cincinnati. Two have been to a Super Bowl. Buffalo hasn't. So I don't think they're the gold standard of football. I think Kansas City is, so medium pressure.
All right, how much pressure on the Jacksonville Jags to make the Super Bowl?
Low. Right. This whole season's been a win for them because it was such a mess last year. I mean, they had the worst scoring offense in the NFL last year. And over the previous 5 years, they had the worst record in the league. So I think everything post-Thanksgiving has been an absolute gift. I think they're ahead of schedule. You liked them. You did like them. You thought they could be a playoff team. I didn't. I didn't trust them. But they do feel like, to me, they've gotten better quicker than we thought. This feels like what we thought they'd be next year. Right. And they're already here. Low pressure.
Now, the L.A. Chargers. How much pressure on them to make the Super Bowl?
Medium, because I don't think, Mahomes, Burrow, Allen. Yeah. But there's massive pressure to win a playoff game.
Maybe more than anybody this weekend.
Yeah. They spent over $200 million in free agency. The coach is on the hot seat. So we know, Reed and Sean McDermott, a lot of these teams, we know the coach is good. There's some issues. A lot of people, if they went out and got doused by Jacksonville, and I mean 31-10, I think Brandon Staley's in big trouble. Yeah. So I think the only reason it's not high pressure, because you said Super Bowl. Yeah. I think if they got to the conference championship, there'd be a sense in Los Angeles, that's great.
Yeah. Pressure on the Baltimore Ravens to make the Super Bowl.
Low.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they on? Are they on their third or fourth?
Second or third string quarterback, we don't even know as of right now.
Yeah. Low pressure.
Yeah. All right, let's get to Miami Dolphins.
Low pressure. Skylar
How about
Thompson.
win this weekend? Is there pressure on them this weekend?
No. First of all, they beat Buffalo this year, and they played them great the second time. Remember that game in Buffalo? They outplayed the Bills. They lost. Yeah. I think Mike McDaniel had two great game plans against Sean McDermott.
Tough to employ it with your third string quarterback.
No, I think they actually match up with Buffalo pretty well with Tua. So I think we all know at this point, you have no shot to go to Buffalo with Skylar Thompson and win.
All right, in the NFC, number one seed, how much pressure on the Eagles?
I would say only medium. They've never won a playoff game. Jalen Hurts has one playoff game. Let's not go crazy here. This is not Mahomes. This is not Burrow. They're 10-21 without Lane Johnson at right tackle. There are many people, I'm one of them, that expect the playoffs to be much tougher Even if they have to play the Giants again, they're better. But they don't win without Lane Johnson. Last 4 or 5 years, they don't. They struggle.
What about the Niners? How much pressure on them to make the Super Bowl with their third-string quarterback?
Medium, because no rookie quarterback's ever made the Super Bowl. I think it's an easy out. Is Deebo Samuel going to play? Third-string quarterback gives Kyle Shanahan an out. Now, if they lost to Seattle, there's going to be some heat. But if they lost at Philadelphia, I don't think anybody's going crazy with Brock Purdy. That's a big task for Brock Purdy to go to like a Philadelphia in the conference championship and win.
Minnesota Vikings, any pressure on them to make the Super Bowl?
No, medium pressure, because I think Kevin O'Connell is arguably coach of the year material. Won't win at Daboll-Wood, but they have the second worst defense in the league. I mean, I'm sorry, but Kirk Cousins has a label. It's fair. Rookie coach, horrible defense. I think if they can beat the Giants, you take a deep breath as a Viking fan, because I think in Minnesota they have concerns this weekend that New York's going to run it down their throat.
All right, now this next one's tricky. How much pressure is on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to make the Super Bowl?
I think low.
Really?
I think Brady's divorce, Todd Bowles. I think everybody understands the injuries. It started in camp. Their offensive line's a mess. Low pressure.
But don't they understand Brady's gone? I mean, everybody's got him ticketed for somewhere. This is it with Brady. Mike Evans and Godwin know ain't nobody coming in here who's as good as Tom Brady. Is this our last shot getting the Super Bowl for a while?
I think they've got a ring, and they're satisfied. If Tom leaves, he got us a ring. That's good enough.
Satisfied with it? Ooh, okay. All right. Let's move on to the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones hasn't made the Super Bowl, what is it, 94, 95?
I think it's medium. Jerry Jones took the pressure off. Jerry Jones came out and said, I'm not firing him. Unless they completely unravel, which I don't think Tampa can blow out anybody, unless they completely unravel. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.